It all began as an alumni choir back in 1969 at St. Vladimir's College. Little did the assembled singers know that that choral gathering would blossom into one of Winnipeg's most beloved ensembles. The Hoosli Ukrainian Male Choir will be celebrating 55 years of excellence this weekend with 2 performances at the Desautels Concert Hall alongside musicians from the Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra. Together, they will share the traditional and patriotic folk songs of Ukraine and the Kozaki that has been their hallmark for over 5 decades. Alexander Hryndzio is one of the members of the Hoosli Ukrainian Male Choir, joining us live in the Classic 107 studios here this morning. Good morning, Alexander.
Good morning, Nolan.
So maybe walk me back to the moment when you first joined the Hoosli Ukrainian Male Choir. What was that first rehearsal, first experience in that group like for you?
I remember it like it was yesterday. It's hard to say that it was already 8 years ago that I had joined the ensemble, but I remember wanting to join Hoosli being a huge part of my childhood and watching them perform as I grew up. And my mom said I would just stare at them in awe and thought that they were the best and greatest that really anyone could ever be. And now that I'm with them, I really learned why and how they became what they are.
Absolutely. What was that experience like watching them growing up as a kid? What were your impressions as a child of this amazing ensemble? And then how did that compare to the experience of actually being in the ensemble?
Yeah, so as a kid, I saw them, and it was just this barrage of voices hitting you like a wall. The Ukrainian sound is truly a unique one, that it's very ominous and it's very deep, but it's also so great and so large.
Yes.
And so as a kid, it's a little overwhelming, but as you join the ensemble and you learn to hone in that sound, it really is remarkable how much of a craft it really is, the Ukrainian style of voice.
We don't have to tell anybody who is a Winnipeg Jets fan, of course, about that sort of barrage of sound that the Hoosli Ukrainian Male Choir can produce. For those who have only heard your performances in concert, or perhaps have encountered you on TV singing the national anthem at Jets games, maybe you can speak a little bit more to what the community around Hoosli is like, to say nothing about the incredible sound and music that it produces. What is it like to be amongst all of these incredible singers, and what's the atmosphere like maybe in the rehearsal hall?
Yeah, so the community plays a fundamental role in Hoosli and our ability to thrive for 55 plus years.
Yeah.
Without the support that we get from some of our members of the community and some of the people that we get to outreach to and perform for, it's without those people who want to listen to us and want to hear and want to preserve our very unique sound that we are able to exist. And for that, we're very humble and we're very thankful for our audience.
Absolutely. That audience will be out in spades, I'm sure, on Saturday for 2 performances, one in the afternoon, one in the evening. Without giving too much away, Alexander, what can audiences expect?
Well, we've got a few pieces selected, mostly with a more serious tone to them, obviously, given the 3-year anniversary. Although it's not a celebration, it's more of a remembrance and a condolence to those who are in Ukraine suffering right now for something very simple, and it's independence and freedom. But to focus on the concert a little bit more, we've got 9 pieces set up that are going to be accompanied by the WSO, and then during some interludes between those performances, the WSO will have a few pieces of their own to share.
Oh, wonderful. You mentioned the remembrance component also within all of this. The celebration of the 55th anniversary also comes as the world marks that 3rd anniversary of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. What has you've been a member of the choir now for several years and had joined before the invasion began. Maybe you can speak a little bit to if there's been any sort of added weight to those performances. I would imagine that they mean that much more given the circumstances in Ukraine now.
Yeah, initially I joined as what we call in Ukrainian підтримку, for remembering and preservation of the culture. And that has only grown so much more because this isn't the first time Ukraine has faced this type of adversity of trying to wipe out a culture and an identity and a sense of self.
Yeah.
And so that has only become all the more important since 2014, since 3 years ago, since the actual invasion of Ukraine. And although we face this adversity, it's very important to remember that Ukrainian people, despite all of this adversity, that they remain strong, they remain powerful, and that our voices are heard. And in our case, our voices are heard in terms of song. So it's such a beautiful message that we're able to send and show them that Ukrainian people are still alive, Ukrainian people are still strong, and we want our voices to be heard across the globe.
It's even amazing hearing you speak about this, like from a purely sound perspective. Like your voice rings that much more as you are speaking about these things with so much passion. It maybe is a little bit too early to say. What do you hope for the next 55 years of Hoosli? As you're looking ahead into the decades to come, how do you hope that this choir and this community continues to celebrate the culture and the music of Ukraine?
My hope is that this organization can continue to thrive with obviously as much support as it's gotten in the past, and for that to continue in the future, because our goal is to preserve and share the Ukrainian male vocal sound. And so that's our goal, and I really hope that we're able to continue that for the next 55 years, because it really is something truly unique, and it really has nothing but spared me opportunities, and I hope that it can do the same thing for people, whether you're an audience member or if you want to audition and join the chorus, of course, more than welcome to do that as well.
Oh, there we go. Imagine with me for a second that there's another little Alexander sitting in the concert hall in the Desautels Concert Hall on Saturday afternoon or Saturday night, and they hear Hoosli doing their incredible performance. What do you hope that kid, that little Alexander, takes away from seeing you on stage this weekend as you celebrate 55 years of this ensemble?
What I would tell little Alexander is to really, if it's something that you're interested in and it's something that you're passionate about, go for it. Even if it's not Hoosli, whatever you want to do, just shoot for the stars. As long as you see that light and someone else believes in you, you've got it.
Couldn't have put it much better myself. We're all looking forward to these performances on Saturday afternoon. Alexander, thank you so much for joining us in the Classic 107 studios to tell us more about your experience with Hoosli and what we can expect on Saturday.
Thanks, Nolan.